Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's been a source of playground debates for generations. What really happens if you swallow gum? Many of us grew up hearing terrifying tales about swallowed gum living inside us for 7 long years. But let's chew through these myths and spit them out. Scientific studies have shown that these stories are more fiction than fact. The truth is your body is pretty efficient at dealing with things it can't digest, and gum is no exception. While it's true that our bodies can't fully break down the synthetic components of gum, it doesn't mean it sets up camp in your system for 7 years. Your body has a way of moving things along, if you catch my drift. So now that we've busted some myths, let's get into the real science behind what happens when you swallow gum. But before we do, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. To understand what happens when you swallow gum, you first need to understand a bit about your digestive system. This complex network of organs is like a well-oiled machine working round the clock to process the food we consume. Let's start at the very beginning. As soon as you take a bite of your food, your mouth, with the help of saliva and teeth, starts the process of breaking down that food into smaller pieces. This process is called mastication. The food then travels down a muscular tube called the esophagus, which connects your mouth to your stomach. Once in the stomach, the food meets a potent mix of acid and enzymes that further break it down into a semi-liquid state. This mixture, known as chyme, then moves into the small intestine, where the real magic happens. The small intestine, though it might sound small, is actually a whopping 20 feet long and is where the majority of nutrient absorption takes place. The walls of the small intestine are lined with tiny finger-like projections called villi. These villi increase the surface area for absorption and transfer nutrients into the bloodstream. From there, these nutrients are distributed to our cells to provide energy, growth, and cell repair. What's left of the food, now mostly water, electrolytes, and undigested material, moves into the large intestine, also known as the colon. The colon absorbs most of the remaining water and electrolytes, transforming the undigested material into stool to be excreted. Now you might be wondering, how does gum fit into all of this? Well, gum is a bit of an oddball. It's designed to be chewed, not swallowed. But what happens if it does take the plunge down the esophagus? With a basic understanding of the digestive system, it's time to see how gum interacts with this intricate system. So, you've swallowed your gum, now what? Well, it takes a bit of a journey. Let's embark on this intriguing adventure through the digestive system, following our sticky friend, the gum. The voyage begins when the gum slides down your throat after a quick hello to the tonsils. It's here in the esophagus where the gum first encounters a challenge. Unlike other food, it doesn't break down with the help of enzymes and stomach acid. That's because gum is made from a base of polymers, which are large molecules that our enzymes can't quite get a grip on. Upon reaching the stomach, the gum meets a pool of gastric acid. But just like a stubborn piece of bubble gum stuck to the underside of a school desk, it refuses to dissolve. The gum's resilience doesn't falter, even when mixed with the half-digested food, forming a thick semi-fluid mass called chyme. As the chyme moves into the small intestine, the body efficiently absorbs nutrients from the digestible parts. But the gum, it remains an outsider, observing the absorption of nutrients like a bystander at a party. It's not involved, but it's still part of the scene. Next, the gum embarks on a rather lengthy trip through the 25 feet of the small intestine. It's a bit like a scenic drive, except instead of trees and mountains, it's surrounded by villi, small finger-like projections that help in nutrient absorption. Eventually, the gum reaches the colon, also known as the large intestine. At this point, the body has done its best to extract as much as it can from the food. The gum, however, remains untouched, much like a relic of its journey. Finally, the gum gets ready for the final leg of its adventure. It's here in the rectum that it readies itself for its grand exit, leaving the body in the same form it entered, albeit a bit more traveled and a lot less appetizing. The gum's journey is a fascinating one, but it doesn't end there. Stay tuned to discover what happens next. While it's not as scary as some myths make it out to be, swallowing gum isn't entirely risk-free. Let's take a closer look at the potential risks. The most immediate danger, particularly for young children, is the choking hazard. Because gum is sticky and doesn't break down like other foods, if it gets lodged in the throat, it can be harder to dislodge than other substances. This can lead to a dangerous or even life-threatening situation. While rare, there have been documented cases of gum causing blockages in the digestive system, especially when swallowed in large amounts or when combined with other indigestible substances. One scientific study, for instance, reported a case where a 4-year-old girl experienced constipation due to a large mass of swallowed chewing gum. Gum can also potentially contribute to other gastrointestinal issues. Some types of gum contain artificial sweeteners like sorbitol, which can have a laxative effect when consumed in large amounts. Over time, this could lead to discomfort, bloating, and other digestive problems. There's also the environmental aspect to consider. Unlike food waste, gum doesn't decompose and can end up contributing to pollution. When swallowed, it eventually passes through our system and ends up in the sewage, where it can cause blockages and other problems. It's worth noting, though, that most medical professionals agree the occasional swallowed piece of gum is unlikely to cause harm. The body is quite adept at dealing with non-digestible substances and usually passes them without incident. However, regular or intentional swallowing of gum is not advised. In the words of gastroenterologist Dr. David Milov, "I have never seen a patient with an impacted mass of chewing gum in the gastrointestinal tract. It's not something that should be a significant concern for parents." So, while it's not the 7-year sentence we heard about in the schoolyard, there are some potential risks to swallowing gum. Stay tuned for our conclusion and advice on this sticky subject in the next scene. After this journey through the digestive system, it's clear that swallowing gum isn't as harmless as it might seem. We've delved into the myths and misconceptions, explored the basics of the digestive system, followed the gum's journey through the digestive tract, and even highlighted some potential risks. It's been quite a ride, hasn't it? While the human body is an incredible machine, capable of digesting a wide array of foods, gum presents a unique challenge. Comprised of a synthetic rubber base, it's designed to resist the normal processes of digestion, and as we've discovered, this can create some issues. Certainly, swallowing a piece of gum occasionally won't lead to a gum-filled stomach or intestines, as some old wives' tales might have you believe. It won't stay in your body for 7 years. Your body will, in most cases, process and eliminate it within a few days. However, as we've seen, there can be potential risks. Habitual swallowing of gum can increase the risk of blockages, especially in children. These instances are rare, but they do happen. And they're a sobering reminder that we should treat our bodies with respect. So what's the final word from health experts? It's simple. While swallowing gum isn't usually dangerous, it's still not recommended. It's better to dispose of your gum properly in a bin, not your belly. It's a small act, but it's one that respects both your body and the environment. And it's a simple habit to develop. After all, we're talking about a piece of gum, not a nutritional necessity. So the next time you're tempted to swallow your gum, remember the journey we've explored today. Consider your body's incredible digestive system, the potential risks, and the advice from health experts. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting content.